Okay, I pushed recording. So hey everybody, it's Lauren here from lipstickandlunges.com, Team Lipstick and Lunges. And today is, what is today? July 17th, 2018. And welcome to our team call. So I'm recording tonight so we can use this for future training. And tonight I wanted to talk about sharing your story and the importance of sharing your story and being authentic, and just giving you some tips and tricks and some ideas on how you can share your story without feeling spammy, without feeling like you're posting the exact same sweaty selfie every single day, or picture of your meal prepping containers where everything kind of looks like brown and gross and weird, and how you can authentically be you and attract people to you, to reach out to you, to start conversations, and to possibly either join our boot camps or join our team. So a little background, I know that we have a variety of coaches on the call tonight, some that have been coaching for a while, some that may be brand new to this. And we usually touch on this during the training, but finding a way to share your story and to be you and not really like turn on a sales switch when you become a Beachbody coach is really, really important. Because at the end of the day, these products, someone could just buy, basically go to beachbody.com and buy instead of buying through a Team Beachbody coach. So when you're sharing on social media, the key is for you to be authentically you, to share your struggles, to share what you've learned, to share where you've been and kind of like what you've learned from using these products and being a part of our community, and to be inspirational and just let someone know that there is an opportunity out there to join a community, to use a product, to have a healthy lifestyle, and really find a way to share it almost as like your health and fitness diary instead of copying and pasting posts and the same exact posts every single day. So I have some notes from Summit that I wanted to share with everybody about how you can authentically share your story and give you some ideas on what you can be sharing if you're struggling as to like what to post to your Facebook or your Instagram. And first off, it's important that you're sharing every single day on social media. I think that we all know, or hopefully everybody knows, that with the algorithms in Facebook and Instagram, every single thing that you post, not every 1,000 of your friends is going to see every single post that you put up. So what's important to remember is always finding a way to reiterate your story, where it may seem really, really redundant to you, but it isn't going to be redundant to someone who maybe didn't see your post 2 weeks ago, or a new friend that you just added who's a friend of a friend that you met from school or church or mommy group or a dog lovers group or things like that. So always making sure that you're sharing key parts of your story is really, really important. And also just making yourself like relatable and not seeming completely polished and perfect at every single moment. If anybody follows me at all on Instagram or Facebook today, I shared kind of like a video clip and went live that I literally started bawling today during my Lift 4 workout because I just feel like I've been in a rut, I've gained weight, my shorts don't fit, like I hate starting new workouts where I feel like I don't know the routine yet or how the trainer works. And it's just like, it was a shitty start to my morning. And I probably got more Instagram DMs today than I have gotten in the past like 2 weeks, with people just saying, it's okay, you're relatable, it happens to everyone, and kind of showing that you aren't perfect and polished and photo edited, and like taking the time to make sure every single lighting and post and thing is perfect makes you a human being. And when you're being vulnerable and showing who you are within social media and what you're sharing, that's going to make you a hell of a lot more approachable than the bikini competitor that shares her workout program that you can buy from her. So making sure that you stay true to yourself and being like a real person and sharing your struggles is something super important. Um, consistency, being real. Another thing that's really important and that I think that people, especially new coaches, struggle with is adequately kind of like explaining where you were to where you are now. It's not assuming that everyone knows that either you used to be X pounds overweight, or you used to have gym memberships that would just bill your credit card every single month, that you would never go to the gym, or that you felt embarrassed to walk into the gym because you didn't know how to use any of the equipment and you felt like everyone was looking at you. So thinking of those pain points, of those things that you think someone else out there could relate to, even if it's only one person, that's going to make you a human being and make you approachable. And that little twinge of like vulnerability is going to help you with being relatable and connecting with other people when you're freely sharing these things on social media. Sorry, I have a list here. So understanding some of the topics that you can kind of share about if you feel like, oh God, I keep just posting my sweaty selfies and this and that all the time. So I'm going to rattle off a list of things that you can kind of pull from as to what to be sharing about. And this could have to do with your fitness, your nutrition, your business, or even like your personal or work life. What are you most proud of? What do you struggle with? What do you still continue to struggle with? Like for me, that's still nutrition. What could you talk about for hours and hours on end? For me, that's the Backstreet Boys. Maybe that doesn't make me relatable, but it makes people think of me with that. What just lights you up? What do you really get excited about in life? What do people ask you about the most, whether it has to do with fitness or nutrition or anything like that? And kind of like as you're telling your story, understand that people tend to buy solutions that are for internal problems, not necessarily things that are always on the outside. So if someone's struggling internally with community and how to fit in and this and that and feeling like they don't have friendships, like you don't buy friends from becoming a part of our boot camp, but understanding that you get plugged into a community and can be with a lot of positive people, like that's something that internally they may have struggled with, and it's a benefit of our groups. Asking questions on social media, and almost saying like, hey, do you struggle with meal prepping? Do you struggle with things on the weekends? Can also help you cater your content to what other people are agreeing with, like what they're saying that they struggle with too. So a lot of the times I'll ask questions on Instagram polls or on Facebook, and kind of just take a look at where the results are skewing to. Like a lot of the times I'll ask people, what do you struggle with more, fitness or nutrition? And depending on what the results are, it's usually nutrition. I try to share about my nutrition and what I'm cooking for me versus Jordan. When I'm struggling, that I made a bunch of food and it's in the fridge, I don't feel like eating it, and I went and got a pizza instead. Like just finding those certain little things, those everyday things that you probably think like don't matter, but I bet you a million different people can probably like relate to those things because it's part of their everyday life. It's just not necessarily like talked about. In terms of how to kind of like tell your story as a whole, Eric Worre, who's a network marketing trainer, also has a really great kind of formula that I have followed with a lot of my posts as well. And it's the idea of crafting a story, whether it's within a post or a live video or when you're talking to someone. And the first step is really like giving information on your background, like where you were, kind of like where you were before Beachbody with your health and fitness, or where you were before you started coaching. And then the things that you didn't like about it. The third step is how the solution or the company or the product that you're talking about kind of like came to the rescue. And then step 4 is your results, or how you feel about your future now because of it. So I will like type this up afterwards or cut and paste it in, but just to give you an example, when I talk about my background when it comes with losing weight, this is how I usually tell my story, whether it's like via video or in a post. I was the girl that went to college, and instead of gaining the freshman 15, I gained the freshman 25. Go big or go home. I absolutely love carbs and cheese and avoided vegetables. And because my mom always cooked for me in junior high and high school, I never really had to learn how to cook at all. So when I went to college, it was basically a free-for-all when I was in the cafeteria with my meal plans and eating whatever the heck I wanted. And basically, I found myself with my clothes not fitting, having to go to the mall every other week to find something that would fit because I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I didn't feel comfortable in my own body. Like when you're supposed to be dating and having fun in college and things like that, I was getting upset in the dressing room at the mall because I'd gone up a size in my jeans. So it wasn't until I found Beachbody and I really found like a full solution that told me when to work out, what to eat, and plugged me into a community that made sure that I stuck with it, that I was finally able to educate myself on how to eat and how to work out without feeling embarrassed and walking into the gym, and really just have a full program to follow. I never had enough money to pay for a personal trainer or a nutritionist, let alone both. And the nice thing about this was that it plugged like everything into one place for me. And also added in the bonus of an actual human checking in on me to make sure that I was following through with it. So now I've lost 25 pounds, I've kept it off, and I know that honestly for the rest of my life, I have a guide to follow. I don't have to worry about what I should be eating or what workouts I should do because I'm plugged into this community and have this step-by-step program that I'm always following. So that was really long-winded, but hopefully you can understand how I was kind of going through the background, what I didn't like, how Beachbody came to the rescue, and my results and how I feel about the future. And it's really showing like the full circle picture of you and your story and how you're relatable and what you can offer for that moving forward as well. As opposed to if I just told the story saying, Beachbody really helped me lose weight and now I have like this program to follow and I'm plugged into a community and this, and that, like it's not going to ring. It's not as, not as hard hitting. You're not really connecting to the story when you don't know my background. You're not connecting to my story when you don't know how I felt or kind of like how I got there. So being able to tell that full circle when you're sharing on social media is going to help you be more relatable and connect to more people. And also just kind of like help improve the value of what it is that you're representing. I think a lot of the times when you're sharing your story on social media, you may think that it has to be like this big feat, like I have to be at my goal weight or have to be here or there or have made X amount of money as a coach for people to want to join me. And like, that's just not the case. I've really found after doing this for 5 years that the small relatable things that you can share about the struggles that you have or that you still have, or the things that you're going through are going to make you a hell of a lot more relatable than these like big accolades of like losing 100 pounds or making $1 million as a Beachbody coach. So don't take for granted those little things that you're sharing don't take for granted the little things that you're sharing, and find some of those things daily that you can share and then just try to educate and teach and be inspirational to other people as to how it's impacted you and your story. And I think the other thing is like not trying to talk to every single person that you're friends with on social media. For me, I've learned after doing this, like women are my team. No offense, Brando. I'm very happy to have you here. But like I relate to women, and a lot of the times it's women that are either like my age or they're my age and maybe a few years older, and like they were like me before they had family and kids and like they don't drink as much alcohol anymore because they have actual responsibilities and can't party it up as much as I do now. But when you can be really specific in sharing those things like about your story authentically on social media, you're going to attract people like you. And they're going to find that you're relatable and want to know more about what you're doing and all of that. So those are kind of the main things. Like I hate making these calls super long because I think that attention spans, like you don't need to listen to me rambling on for an hour about how to share on social media. So if anyone has any specific questions at all, I'd be happy to answer them. And then once I post the recording, I'll also have the lists of things that I rambled off kind of like brainstorm topics of what you can talk about. And the Eric Worre like 4 formula of how to tell your story. So did anyone have any specific questions that I can answer for you? Anybody? No, it's fine. If you don't, hopefully that means I did my job and I told you what you needed to know. So for those of you that are going to be watching this, that are in the coach training, basically your assignment tomorrow will be to use Eric Worre's formula to talk about your story as a whole. But I hope you found this helpful. I also found a couple different like calendars out there that give you an idea of content and what you can be talking about and things like that. But honestly, I think it's just the importance of consistency and being real and raw and not sugarcoating it, because it's usually when you feel a little anxious about pushing post or sending it to your IG stories that you're going to get the best feedback from everyone. So that's kind of it. Ashley, you totally missed it. We're done because I'm short and to the point and type A that gets things done super quick. I know. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. If anybody has any specific questions or anything, let me know. But I hope everybody has an awesome week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.